Today's Gospel tells us about two sons that are invited by their father to go and work in the vineyard. And I was praying more with the attitude of the first son, so I'm going to share about that. So what happens with this first son? The father comes up to him and says, "Son, will you go and work in my vineyard today?" And very honestly, the son replies, "No, I'm not very interested in doing that. Don't think I'll go." We can be like this many times with God in our prayer. We can understand something from him, but at first glance it doesn't seem very appealing. Then what happens in the parable? Jesus says that this first son, thinking better of it, decides to go to the vineyard. And I reflected a little bit on what this thinking better of it might be. It's about connecting with our conscience, the thing that guides us in life, the thing that we form so that we can be more and more open to God's will, that we can direct our lives towards God's will. And this conscience is directed to our best joy, the thing that will be best for us. So this son, connecting with his conscience, understands that actually what the father is asking of him is something that will bring him joy. After all, the vineyard is where we get wine from, which is a source of great joy for many people. So recognizing that this thing that the father is asking is of great joy, he goes to the vineyard. We have a great gift in our conscience and the help of the Holy Spirit to help us recognize what is for our greatest good and what is for our joy. So perhaps in the things that we feel that God is asking of us in this time, we can ask the Holy Spirit to enlighten us, to help us think better of it today so that we can respond. Because at the end of the day, at the end of this parable, Jesus says that these first sons, the ones that think better of it, are the ones that enter into the kingdom of heaven. They enter into this relationship of love with the Father. They enter into this new way of being and this great joy. I imagined at the end of this parable, the father going up to his son and saying, thank you for being here, and giving him a hug. And that can be everything for us. That is the greatest joy that we can receive, even more than being in the vineyard of the world, giving to others. So perhaps today we can reflect a little bit of what we are understanding in prayer from God at this time. How is our response to it? How we can maybe think better if we feel that there are resistances in us, and how we can experience this great joy of doing God's will. Happy Sunday.